Guys, welcome to Animation Capstone. That's right, welcome. We've made it to the weekend, week 3. Just figured I'd give you a heads up, so no discussions this week. Just focus on your animation for your title cards and end cards, and that's pretty much it. And your live lectures go there. So pretty much just talk about some cool tips for animation. I know pretty much we've gone through all these things, but for videos, realistic animation kind of helps out, and you can definitely go with that. So a lot of times when you're doing animation, especially like in realistic videos, definitely want to look at like physics and stuff to help kind of play with that. And so anytime we move anything or show any motion, especially with like an emotion graphics or an animation setting, we tend to try to utilize inertia. And inertia is a property of matter by which it continues its existing state of motion or of rest or uniform motion in a straight line, unless that state is changed by an external force. And when objects stay at rest, and objects in motion stay in motion unless acted upon by something else to stop them. This means an object cannot suddenly just start moving quickly. An object should gradually increase speed. And so a lot of times when we do that, we have to consider our animation as well. And this could even go with like text and images. We have to keep in mind with this as animations play out there. So when you're building your title cards and end cards, keep this in mind. And our work as animators need to reflect this reality to be effective, because you got to be careful. You don't want to create jerky movement so animations don't feel smooth, because when you have jerky compared to smooth, you can definitely tell when something feels clean and crisp compared to something that just feels staggered. But if that's what you want and the type of things you want to go about, then do it. But you want to make sure what fits right for your art style and what you're trying to present. That's another thing. Now, you can also use easing. This is a cool thing in After Effects. Uses keyframes to calculate where elements should be given at any time. But as we know, sudden jerky movements feel fake, so try to make it as smooth as possible. Easing keyframes are a good way to add some realistic physical behavior to this, and you can always do this by selecting a keyframe, pressing F9 on the animation, and through the keyframe assistant and using Easy Use. Or Easy Ease, sorry. And you can manually adjust the curves of animation from within the graph editor by dragging the Bezier handle after applying easing. So that helps out too. One other thing is you can also use blur. Blur is also a really cool like animation technique, and you can utilize it in multiple different elements. Human vision is always limited to a certain extent by the way we perceive time, motion, and the objects that feel like they're moving quickly that we lose focus is blurring. And so to make objects feel as if they're moving quickly, blur is an important component. So you can use like motion blur in After Effects, but just be careful if you use too much blur. It just increases preview and render times. It really adds more onto those elements. So because it's a really high intense effect, so that's something to keep in mind with. But it's another way to go about it if you want to really use like for like high-end speedy type of videos. Other than that, that's all I got. Everything should be updated. Grades are updated. Just keep in mind your assignments are due on Sunday. No discussion this week. And that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. But other than that, be safe, have fun, enjoy. And my announcements will be back on Monday. And see you for next week. All right, take it easy. Bye-bye.